to do a live stream. So I just wanted to give people an update on sort of where we're at with the channel. It's been a little while since I've done an update. So, and I just wanted to see how this live stream works as well too. So thanks if you're for popping in. So we're going to look at 3 things today. I'm going to do a channel update and just sort of talk about 2. What is it like to have a channel of about 700 and almost 800 subscribers? What does that look like? So just, I don't do Screenwriting Mentor as a full-time gig at all. You can probably tell. So it's just it's a fun project I've liked doing. I really want to help other people learn to write better stories, help with things like that. And so just so you know how much money I make from Screenwriting Mentor, this year so far, I've made $9.99. That was from someone who went and bought a copy of Scrivener. And so that I also have $25 sitting off to the side for Arc Studio Pro. I get some more people to buy Arc Studio Pro, and that'll be 1,000 subscribers or 4,000 watch hours as well too. So we'll just see how things go. And so there's that with the channel. I am gonna I've been working on a project like a character design template that I was gonna sell to people for like $4. Nothing really expensive, but something. And I'm going to talk about it. So if you don't even want to pay for it, you can just copy my idea and use it. But I was just trying to think of different ways to sort of monetize the channel, and that's fine. So I'm going to try that, and we'll just see how the affiliate links go. And I haven't forgotten to do some more. I'll get back to some more. So you might notice on the channel too that sometimes I go through. Let's see if I can turn this up a little bit. Let's see if that's. I'm also trying a new mic today too. I'm trying a new mic off. So if you have a harder time hearing me, some programs. It's got Scrit that I'm working on right now. I got Final Draft. I know you haven't seen a lot of software reviews here, but they'll be back online again. So, but I just want to give wanted to give you a little update on. So that's sort of what the channel's at right now. I've been enjoying it. I'm still going to keep working on it. I've been doing some, like I said, I've been trying to figure out some interesting videos. And I think the hard part is what's always exciting in screenwriting. So that's why I've been doing the content I have right now, because if I do too many, I do it. Some of the reasons I do the screenwriting, regular general screenwriting stuff is because a lot of times I get bored just doing the programs, because I enjoy that, but I also just enjoy, and it's just a good review for me for doing screenwriting stuff as well too. So that's why I do that. So let's see what else. So for my project, so what am I working on? So I have a screenplay I'm working on right now. It's Pizza Man is it's not the name. That's the name I've given it. I haven't given it an official title yet, but I've been still working on that. So so I'm after right now. And so what I'm actually going through Fast Screenplay, and with Fast Screenplay, I'm learning how to do a better second draft. A lot of times when you write a screenplay, you just do it once and that's it. But learning how to write the second draft, because that's where you get a lot of good, what do I want to say? You get a better way. Amazing how, as I'm doing the rewriting process, how much clearer this. And so I think that's been good to have that more clarity. So I'm working on that. And so right now I am rewriting characters. Well, actually, it was really interesting. So what I had to do last night was to go through and do a report. And you can do this in Final Draft, and I think you can do it in a lot of the other screenwriting programs as well too. If you go to reports and you go to characters, and you can see how many character, if they have more, they have less of that character, and does it actually fulfill that role, or can you take that character out? Because the one thing that Jeff, who wrote Fast Screenplay, reminds us is that um, when you pay somebody to speak, they get paid more than an extra, and so you gotta understand whether this person's going to actually do something. You know, do you want to pay them for that, or can a separate character say the same thing? Are they just like an exposition dump, or what are they for? So that's been interesting. I'm working on another one, which is another way to do screenwriting. A way to keep your screenwriting going is to do like an ever or endless pages screenplay. And so you're constantly writing. You're constantly writing scenes, or if you have, excuse me, a villain that has to do with cattle. I'm trying to remember what the name of the movie is, but it's I liked it because it sort of John Wayne was this grumpier character. He was just looking for himself, and he was just he wasn't listening to the people around him. And so I sort of did the same thing, but I did it with a science fiction type title instead. So yeah, so that's what I'm going with that second one. So those are the two, is talking about how to use history events in order to historical events to help with ideas for screenplays. And so there was this really interesting article, or this book I read, called The Man from the Train. And it was back in the 1800s. And this guy was one of like America's first serial killers. He would get on and off trains and kill people with their own axes from their own wood piles. The axe part, he used the handle. He would bludgeon people to death in the middle of the and there's, like I said, there's a well-known documented case in Iowa. Lures most of the family into the barn, kills them in the barn, and then leaves. He actually killed the wife of the farmer in the house, though. He used the weights from the grandfather clock to kill her. Yeah, it was really interesting. They never caught the guy either. They think they know who he is, but he was a short guy too. They know that much because of where he was killing people. Sometimes the ceilings weren't very high, and so he couldn't have stood if he was a regular height. If he was of average height, he wouldn't be able to do that. So he had to be a shorter dude. So yeah, so that's one thing I'm working on too, is the podcast as well. And that's the other thing too, is as you think about screenwriting right now, where you money, one of the things right now is to so you can write podcast softwares, or write your own podcast. And to be honest, it's not that I mean, you could. It's harder because you have to find actors and stuff like that, or you could just read it. I mean, you could hire somebody to do that. If you haven't looked at my Dagon podcast yet, one of the things to know about that is that it cost me about $1,000, and that's most out of that was the sound engineer. The score didn't cost me very much at all, and the actor wasn't too bad. I think the actor was like $300. I think the sound engineer cost me probably like $500 or $600, and that was for 15 minutes of film. So yeah, so that's what I know about that as well too. So yeah, so if you haven't thought about doing podcasting, because again, it's a very underserved area that you could do some screenwriting and get that idea, so that people like the podcast, and then they'll buy it from you and translate it into a screenplay. So I think that's I just wanted to give this a try and see how it works. So like I said, let me know if you sort of me working on my screenplay. So you sort of me working on my screenplay, so you get a little but yeah, it's not always easy, because like I said, and I know it's not easy for a lot of us, and write at the same time, which isn't easy. So watching my first live stream. As always,